Discuss security concerns for the papal trip. We have former U.S. Secret Service Specialist Brian Gallagher is with us. Brian is a church security expert, and they talked about this sea of people, millions, 50,000 police officers and troops have been deployed. Do you think Manila is ready for this, Brian?
I do. I think it's not just the Philippines. I think the world as a whole is aiding to help the security of this event. Remember, the Vatican and the Swiss Guard is ultimately driving the security for this event, and I believe they're working very closely with the local government to make sure things are safe and ready for the Pope's arrival.
20 years ago, when John Paul II was there, about 5 million people attended that Mass. That was a record, and now they expect to break that. What are the risks of all those people being that close to the Pope?
Well, anytime you have that many people gathered in one location, there are really two major concerns. There's security for the Pope himself, but there's security for the larger crowd as a whole. So in relation to the Pope, I would be concerned with any type of long gun threat, somebody shooting with a weapon. For the crowd, explosives are really still the easiest thing that anybody could do to hurt a large crowd. Those are the two areas I'd be looking at first.
In fact, just last week in the procession for the Feast of the Black Nazarene, there were 2 people who died, 1,000 were injured. Can they prevent that kind of a stampede and problem with this many people?
You know, prevent will vary. I think there are things that can definitely be done to stop a stampede from occurring. Specifically, fear causes a stampede, so if you can alleviate the fear, the stampede will stop. And there are practical things that can be done as well. If you have people in a large group, you can create pressure releases, breaks in the crowd, give them an area to go when a stampede starts.
In looking back 20 years when Pope John Paul II was there, of course, after the assassination attempt against him, he was in a bulletproof Pope-mobile.
Right.
This Pope rides in an open jeepney. That's the local Philippine Pope-mobile. That really must present security problems.
That's a huge security problems. We learned our lesson with JFK and his open air limousine. Security has to be conducted in elements of security rings and security circles. When you have a large crowd, there's no way to check them all. Putting him in his Pope-mobile takes out different security risks. I think that would be a concern that I would have, but understand his reasonings for not wanting to ride in that.
And there is an al-Qaeda presence in southern Philippines. Has there been intelligence gathering, do you think, prior to this?
Absolutely. There's been different reports that have surfaced. I can't speak to the legitimacy of them, but I know that both the Vatican is looking at all the intelligence that's coming in, as well as the other international community elements, and they're all talking. Any intelligence that's coming in, they're looking at it, they're testing it, they're seeing what they can do, and ultimately going to follow through.
And millions of us are praying for the Holy
Absolutely.
Father as well. Security expert Brian Gallagher, thanks for joining us.
Great, thank you.